Hello, this is Tom Zeppeveld again from Graphilion. Today with a video on a new use case that we hadn't worked on before, but which is quite interesting if you look at it as a graph. It's about the evaluation of logical rules. This video will be a little bit longer than usually because there are many interesting aspects to it. Okay, if I log on, and let me first show you what exactly we are looking at. So these are a number of rules. I have 5 rules over here, and these and or ports, they determine whether a rule applies to a certain entity that has properties. So for instance, this first rule, it applies when both the properties 1 and 2 are present. So for product A, which does not have has properties 1, 3 and 4, that rule should not apply, while for product B that rule should apply. And there's what you see here, there are hardly any other properties in the graph. And if I look here, I have here my nodes, my entity nodes that have just a name. I have here my properties, and I have here my ports that I can send to name and or named or, and the rule. It's also simple, and also on the relationships themselves there aren't any properties. So let's evaluate. Pardon. Let's evaluate entity A. Okay, you can see that it has property 1, 3 and 4, so they evaluate to true, and this one is true, this one is false, so here logically the AND also returns, this port evaluates to false. While if I go to B and I evaluate B, then you see that those ports evaluate to true, and as a consequence this one too. So this is also very easy to change. For instance, if I would add another layer over here, so now this AND port would evaluate to false normally. If I would add it, evaluate B, and logically as does. So I'm going to remove this one again. Now it evaluates to true, and the same applies, for instance, to this OR port, which now evaluates to true because property B has of entity B has property 2. But if I would change it to AND, this one would evaluate to false, and as a consequence this one too. So let's see how that works. I'm gonna change it to AND, and now if I evaluate B again, okay, is as expected. Change it back. Okay, so this is very easy to create rules and to evaluate them. Now if we look at what is behind it, we have here our interactor interaction diagram. You see here we have a demo dashboard, and this is a dashboard, and it loads a diagram with a certain specific ID to the network view. And this is basically what happens when you start the dashboard. We have different dashboards, and I have this rule demo, and then it displays the diagram. So in that diagram I have in the network view I have a context menu which has an action evaluate. So that is what happens That's the evaluate one over here. And that one triggers a cipher query. Triggers a cipher query, and this cipher query evaluates which rules should be evaluated. So what the result of those evaluations is fed into a second cipher query, and this one can have, if you look at this case statement over here, it can have a 0 or a 1 as continue, and this basically decides whether there are more evaluations to do. So we have here a trigger that is matched to if this continue is 0, so if there isn't any other evaluation to do, and this one, the flow is routed to this third query to do additional evaluations, and then this one feeds it back, and again it's evaluated whether there's more to do or not. If it's finished, this query is returned, and here you see a number of calls that are with the new APOC calls that that you can do in the procedure calls that you can do in Cypher, and it returns a number of nodes, but as a constructed as a virtual node. And with this command there is an additional property that is added that sets the value of that that specific node to a result, and those nodes, virtual nodes, are combined with the existing nodes and with an update node statement. So, and if you have here this value value key that is used in the virtual nodes to do the styling, and let me show you how that works. For instance, if I evaluate it, you see red and green ones. If I look at the styling, I have set my styling. I have two styling selectors. One, any node that has a value 1, a value key property of 1 has a green border, and value 0 or false is the red border. So this is how it is done. So what I've shown you is a way to run to evaluate logical trees, and well, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 interactor functions that are, when they are combined the right way, you can create these kind of applications. Thank you for now, and stay tuned for more videos of this kind. Thank you.